They want to talk about our book, My Parents Open Carry.
Even the one, because they do have one lady on the show who is
more moderate.
A little more moderate. Where they had they went around the table and said, "What do you want to ban?"
Yeah,
and she said, "Nothing. We've already banned too much stuff." And I was like, "Oh, good." And then I switched to the other video talking about gun control. She was the first one to talk about how she's so glad that the prime minister or whatever they have there took control right after one mass shooting. Supposedly, I don't know the details.
Well, see, that's anyway.
And they didn't just ban assault rifles or whatever.
No,
they confiscated weapons from their citizenry.
Yep.
Now you get stabbed or shot.
Well, I looked up they don't have mass shootings. That's true. It's hard when you live in the desert, it's hard to drown in the ocean. You know what I'm saying? You take away guns and there's going to be less, but it doesn't mean there's less murders or less crime.
Right.
And with Australia, they didn't have a lot of shootings and mass killings before. They didn't have a history of that. So, banning guns didn't really need to be addressed. But, boy, when I looked at their mass murders after the gun ban went into effect, and you know what their number one weapon was? Fire.
Yeah.
There were lots of people that went in and killed people intentionally by burning the buildings. And the other was knives again. Like Britain has, what did they say? 400 or 500 stabbings an hour or a day or something.
An hour? I don't know about that.
Some huge number of stabbings. Now, they're not all dead, but the point is.
Right, yeah. Right.
And you know what they had in Australia just a couple days ago was a 15-year-old Muslim terrorist went up to the police station. These guys want to kill themselves, and I don't know why he picked a damn police station to start shooting up. But he killed one person, and, of course, the cops killed him immediately.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen, those terrorists are going to eventually start going to schools, and they're going to start going to stadiums and things like that where there's lots of people.
Mm-hmm.
Had a semi-automatic rifle, had no problem having it. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
And it's going to be extremists and terrorists that are doing it. At least in the United States, if that happens, we have a chance because we have so many more guns. But the other thing is that Australia has a population of 23 million people.
Yeah.
Michigan has 10 million.
Right.
Our country has over 370 million.
Mm-hmm.
100 million gun owners. 300 or 400 million guns that we know of.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you know a little bit about statistics and you look at it, it's,
and the question is why don't we have more people being shot with guns?
Yeah, right.
Statistically, having a few hundred people killed in mass shootings over 10 or 15 years is like essentially zero.
If guns, it's cliche, but if guns were as dangerous as the liberals, the anti-guns say they are, there would be a lot more people dead. There wouldn't be any anti-gun people left, right? I mean,
they'd all be
if
dead.
Guns and gun owners were really that dangerous.
And the other thing in common is gun-free zones, almost all white. I think they're all white, and they're all young white males. And many of them, what?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The mass shooters themselves as a profile.
Okay, yeah, gotcha. I thought you were talking about Australians.
No, and almost... I think almost all of them were like had absent or weak fathers.
Yeah,
figures. And we know some had mental issues, documented mental issues.
You're not talking about family structure being important, are you?
No. Could be. I think they all had testicles. That was another thing in common.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
They all had guns. Another thing in common.
Well, right, and that's what we dwell on.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
We don't look at the other
stuff.
Don't
worry about everything else.
It's harder to talk about.
Maybe maybe a correlation.
Guns don't talk back.
Prescription drugs. These sorts of things.
Don't get me started on that because I'm not buying that one.
Yeah, me either. But I know you're not, so that's why I mentioned it. All right,
millions of people benefit from antidepressants every day and killed no one.
You know what we should look at? Were they vaccinated?
Yes, but I can't do it on the radio. Oh, what?
Were they vaccinated?
Ooh.
They might have skipped their polio vaccine.
I think they all had vaccines. That's what's did it. I think they all had two eyes. Maybe that was the reason.
Did they?
Start taking one eye out of every,
it's possible.
male child.
If we took all their fingers.
I had a visual picture of that. It wasn't pretty.
It would be hard to fire a gun, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Without fingers?
Mm-hmm.
It would.
I'd find a way.
You've seen the video.
I still have two. Yeah, the guy. Did you see the guy that fires a gun?
No. I was talking about
feet.
I was talking about the guy that walked into the office building with the musket. It's an anti-gun ad. He walks in with a black
powder
muzzleloader,
yeah.
right, and
shoots
one guy,
yeah, and then he has to reload.
and then he's reloading, and everyone else leaves.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, okay.
It's not like that because he had fingers.
No, right.
But there was a video of the guy that was he had no arms, and he was on the hood of a car, and he actually loaded the magazine, racked the a shell, and fired a .45 with his feet.
Yeah, but that's what made me think of it because he wasn't very fast at it.
He was pretty
pretty fast for using feet, but
I don't know. I've seen people at newbies at gun ranges that aren't real quick either. So,
well, right,
he was still pretty impressive.
Yeah. Oh, it was impressive for sure. Okay, so I guess before break, you want to talk about some Michigan news? I don't know how long we're going to spend on this.
Well,
we've talked about it
a
few times, but it's kind of important.
I think that will kind of tie in with Governor
Everything
Brown
else,
thing and the other stuff. So we can introduce it. Remember, I have our day in history, and I have our trivia question too.
Oh,
you didn't let me get to my day in history last week.
Let's play Jim Webb before we move too far away from the debate. He's running for Democrat.
Okay.
Candidate.
War veteran.
I forgot how to say words.
Vietnam. Words are hard. Is he a Vietnam vet?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, he is. So this is his statement. They asked about gun control, Second Amendment. It's horrible. We need to do something. What do you think, Jim?
Yeah. Any day.
Goes down when more people are allowed to carry guns. Would encouraging more people to be armed be part of your response to a mass shooting?
Look, there are two fundamental issues that are involved in this discussion, and we need to pay respect to both of them. The first is the issue of who should be kept from having guns and using firearms. And we have done not a good job. A lot of them are criminals, and a lot of the people who are getting killed are members of gangs inside our urban areas, and a lot of them are mentally incapacitated. In the shooting in Virginia Tech in 2007, this individual had received medical care for mental illness from 3 different professionals who were not allowed to share the information. So we do need background checks. We need to keep the people who should not have guns away from them. But we have to respect the tradition in this country of people who want to defend themselves and their family from violence.
Senator?
There are people are going back and forth here for 10 minutes here. There are people at high levels in this government who have bodyguards 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The average American does not have that and deserves the right to be able to protect their family.
So he was mostly right. Mm-hmm. We don't need background checks. They don't work. Yeah. They won't work. They can't work.
Right.
But the rest of what he said...
Spot on.
His point about armed bodyguards, we make that point all the time.
Yep.
Hillary Clinton has them. Barack Obama has a ton of them. His children have them.
At school.
Yeah.
Where a lot of mass shootings take place.
Yeah, not at his daughter's school,
I bet they won't there.
I wonder why.
And I bet it's a private school. I bet they have armed security in addition to Secret Service.
They do, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
yep.
You probably have to have to get in, have some kind of magic code or something.
Magic.
Yeah, like
a wand.
The geese are flying backwards.
Okay, let's take a break then. Do your stuff. And then
question.
We'll move on.
Trivia question.
Do it.
Okay. Which president was the first president to have a Christmas tree in the White House?
Oh, I know this.
You do not.
Didn't you do this last week?
No.
Oh, okay.
I might have done it at some point, but I didn't do it last week.
All right. Facebook.com/AtOddsShow. MyParentsOpenCarry.com. We'll be right back.
President Obama has stated he will politicize the recent tragedies to push his agenda to take away our Second Amendment rights. Obama says that states with the strictest gun laws have the lowest gun crime. This is a lie. Obama says that countries with strict gun controls, including gun confiscation, experience less violent crime. This is a lie. Obama says that more guns in the hands of law-abiding citizens and the elimination of gun-free zones would not reduce gun crimes. This is a lie. We want to know your opinion. Do you think Obama is lying to push his gun control agenda? We need 1 million Americans to call 800-292-9044 and press 1 if you think Obama is using lies and misinformation to push his gun control agenda. Second Amendment Foundation has a plan to stand up to Obama, and it starts with your call. Please take 5 seconds and call now. Please call 800-292-9044 and press 1 if you think Obama is lying to further his gun grab before he leaves office. Again, call 800-292-9044 right now.
At odds.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states.
Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. But doctors have recently discovered they are unable to reverse or control serious side effects, such as internal bleeding caused by Xarelto. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Call now if you or a loved one was hospitalized from any form of internal bleeding or stroke after taking Xarelto. You may be entitled to a cash award and substantial financial compensation. Don't be a silent victim. There is limited time to file a claim, so call now. Call 800-837-9483. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-837-9483. That's 800-837-9483. Again, 800-837-9483.
Hi, this is Jeff Carlisi from the band 38 Special. The mainstream media has failed the American people once again. Internet radio networks like Red State Talk Radio will not fail you. Tune in 24 hours a day. Studios A and B. Great conservative programming around the clock. Red State Talk Radio, the dominant force in Internet conservative talk radio.
The offer of a franchise can only be made through delivery of a franchise disclosure document. Imagine yourself being a leader in America's fastest growing demographic category. More than 10,000 people a day turn 65, and a large percentage are going to need a helping hand at home or in choosing the right assisted living community. Always Best Care is looking for people who've excelled at everything they've done, but they're seeking a new challenge. Always Best Care is one of the fastest growing companies in this explosive field. We're looking for 25 new franchisees to keep our booming business growing. We'll back you up with the strongest award-winning marketing program in the industry, and we'll provide the special training and support that's fueled our growth to prepare you for this great opportunity. All that's missing is you. Call Always Best Care toll-free at 1-800-643-3819. That's 1-800-643-3819. For Always Best Care, 1-800-643-3819. Call today.
When our water heater broke down last month, it was a nightmare. It took 5 hours for the plumber to show up, and he charged us a couple of $100 just to come out. And then it cost another $1,800 to put in the new water heater. By the time it was all said and done, I felt like I'd been taken. But what else could I do?
The smartest thing you can do is get a home warranty from American Residential Warranty. Their home warranties pay to repair or replace all your major appliances when they break, and they will break, and at the worst possible time. Call American Residential Warranty right now for free information on home warranties starting at just pennies a day. Don't wait for your refrigerator to stop running or your ceiling fans to stop turning. Call American Residential Warranty right now. Ask how you can save up to 50% on washer and dryer coverage. Just call 877-595-5381. That's 877-595-5381. Again, 877-595-5381. Call now.
From now on, the only people you need to listen to are these guys.
living up in Canada is when it gets cold, we can have a reindeer in the shed and a moose in the bed.
Oh, so true.
That is one of the only good things about Canada.
Oh, come on.
No, there's a lot of good things about Canada. They got very similar to Michigan in some places.
Very similar.
Depending on where you go, right?